Yo, welcome back to the Red or Blue Pill channel, people. Thank you for returning subscribers and members. What we do here, if you are new, is we react to the most disturbing and creepy videos from the internet and we go through the latest. If you like what you see, don't forget to sub up, turn on the notifications, let me know your thoughts in the comments section. With that being said, let's roll.
Video is for entertainment purposes only.
Do you all remember that video of the woman on the plane screaming, "That MFer isn't real"? Well, I just read a story that reminded me of that, and I have to tell you. So this woman emailed me. She wants to be anonymous, but she said when she met her now husband, he would always talk about how he was a huge Blue Angels fan. He grew up near Pensacola watching them fly. He had a signed photo on the wall that he had had since he was a kid, and one of his dreams when they had kids was to bring his kids to see a Blue Angels show. So on one trip to Pensacola, they take their two kids to go see the Blue Angels at the National Aviation Museum where the Blue Angels practice. They watch a show. It was her and her kids' first time seeing an air show, and they were just absolutely blown away. After the show ended, they go back into the museum and they were waiting to meet the pilots. There were 3 separate lines that led to 2 pilots each. The idea was for the kids to get a photo with the pilot so that they could hang up their signed photo next to their daddy's picture on the wall. So she's waiting in one line with her son, and her husband has her daughter in another line waiting. She gets up to the pilot, and all of a sudden she looks in his eyes and she just has this insane sense of dread. She said she can't really explain what she felt. It was just, "I'm not supposed to be here looking at you." She said she looked at the other one. He looked off too, but the one directly in front of her had her totally captivated. There was something off about his arms. She said they didn't look real, okay? And the way that he moved was just all wrong. He was jerky. The way that he spoke was weird. She said something about it was just not right. And so all the hair on the back of her neck is standing up. She's like, "We have to get out of here." So she takes her son away. He's acting weird. He seems like something's off, but she doesn't know if he was just picking up on her energy. So they get the signed photo, whatever. She's not going to say anything about it. They walk away about 10 feet over to a table to wait for her husband and her daughter. Her husband walks over to them a minute later. He looks her straight in the eye and he says, "They aren't real." She said neither of them exchanged another word. They just dragged their kids out of there. She said her husband can't explain it either. He just said they don't seem human. She said leaving there, she wanted to run. It felt like she was about to have an anxiety attack. She can't explain it, neither can her husband. She said the energy was just all off. And part of the reason I'm putting this on my backup account instead of my main account is because she said that she thinks that there's going to be a little bit of backlash from this video because the Blue Angels fans are diehard and they will probably defend them. I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm just sharing her experience. And she said she didn't expect me to make a video, but she just wanted to know if anyone else had an experience because this happened before that lady on the plane video. Obviously, they were there. Like, there were other people in line that met them, but something about them did not seem human, and she wants to know if anybody else has ever experienced anything specifically with this group. All of my other spooky, scary story times are on my main account. This one is just kind of for the redacted and questionable stories.
Yeah, I think there could be a race where they've got technology where they can just mask what they actually look like. And this is what I find interesting with the EMPs. I think that's something against that with EMPs and shutting down all the technology. But yeah, some weird stuff going on in the world. Yeah, see, that's the problem. That's when they put so much truth in plain sight and you click on just one of them, then you can see all of them. And that's the downfall. Or at least that's what I think the downfall will be, or is right now. Whoa, there is some weird stuff in that book.
Fighting beneath one. When you enter a city, something you got to worry about is the sewers, subway tunnels, other underground threats that can pop up at anywhere and cause a problem. What the Army's doing is they're creating ways to address that. They're teaching people when you go in that tunnel, you may have to reach a door. You may have to think about gas. You may think about oxygen, explosives. You may have to bring in a canine to go sniff out a threat or go through a door before the soldier does. All in the underground, very constrained or limited environment.
Yeah, or is it that they're going to come across some massive reptilians? Are they training for that as well? Because that could quite possibly be a thing.
Okay, I fully believe that we have shifted timelines. Like, this entire planet has shifted timelines. I saw this video of someone asking, what happened to the worms? Because I remember when we were younger, at least when I was younger, I'd be walking home from school and rain would happen. All of a sudden, the entire ground would be covered in worms. Worms everywhere. You would literally have to, like, dodge the worm. Now when it rains, you see nothing. Where did they go? What reality are we in? Like, what is going on? Now this makes me wonder what other things have changed and we just haven't noticed. Like, what other things have disappeared since our childhood that literally we do not notice? This is crazy.
We have some missing worms then. So if anybody's seen any worms, please let me know.
It's like a glitch. This bird has been flying in the same spot, not moving like an inch forward or backwards. Is it like on a stick or something? Is that like a flag on a stick? Oh, it's a bird.
What in the glitch in the Matrix is going on there? All the best glitch in the Matrix videos that I've seen always have birds in them for some reason. I know it could have been flying in the wind, but to be still for that long, I mean, come on. That's a bit stranger.
What I just read was so interesting. You know the Roswell incident? Well, I just came across this document called Alien Interview. So Matilda was an Army nurse. She claims that this was an alien crash and bodies were recovered. She says the bodies were not biological, but also not mechanical technology. They had an electrical and nervous system that is beyond human comprehension, and they were operated by alien consciousness. Matilda states that of the bodies recovered, one still allowed its conscious to remain in the body, and it communicated with her telepathically because she was able to communicate. So this 300-page document is all about these Army officers and people that want her to interview this alien. They give her questions, but then the alien's always just like, I'm not going to answer those. Let me tell you about your reality. After all of this happens, the Army puts Matilda under witness protection program. They send her out of the country, and apparently she writes this as she's on her deathbed because she's like, the world needs to know now. And these interviews are so interesting. They're so interesting, especially if you take it from the perspective of like, okay, did she just make this up? Because the things they talk about, you're actually like, damn, that kind of makes sense. In one interview, the alien, whose name is A-I-R-L, Earl, but I just like to call him Earl because Earl's a great name. Earl was like, science is basically just the religion of matter. It worships matter. It goes into how dogmatic physical science is, saying it's just as extreme as religion is. And Earl says that because of the bias of scientists, it prevents observation of all phenomenon as an interactive whole. It continues that scientists pretend to observe, but they only suppose what they can see, and they call it fact. Like the blind man, a scientist cannot learn to see until he realizes that he is blind. The facts of Earth science do not include the source of creation. They include only the result or byproducts of creation. The facts of science do not include any memory of the nearly infinite past experience of existence. Like, there's so much in this document where Earl is just basically like, you guys think you're so smart, but you're so dumb. Earl also goes into the vast expansiveness of all creation and talks about the domain and the empire. Earl is from the domain. The old empire is a group that created Earth, I guess, as like a prison planet. And it was wild reading it because it was like oddly similar to the early Christian Gnostics' belief about archons controlling the planet. Earl said that Earth is a ghetto planet because of an intergalactic holocaust. And then it talks about how Earth basically traps you in reincarnation and they zap your memories. It was a wild document. It's super interesting to read. If you guys are interested, I can definitely do a multi-part series. Just let me know. But I will say the answer is the same that you find everywhere. Earl was just basically like, you need to go inwards. You need to remember who you are. You need to tap into your love, tap into your power. It will all come back. This is how you overcome the memory wipe and ascend back to what you are, which is consciousness, which is observer of creation, which is divine. Whether this is legit or not legit, it's super interesting, but I do vibe with the message and I agree with it. Go inwards. The answer's in you. I love you.
Go inwards. Interesting. I need a map or something because I'm lost. I don't know where you got to look. I've been looking for ages. I still can't find anything.
The spring equinox always falls on one of 3 days towards the end of March.
Okay. Alexa, what date is Easter based off of?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, Easter falls on the first Sunday after the full moon date that falls on or after March 21st. If the full moon is on a Sunday, Easter is celebrated on the following Sunday.
Alexa, is Easter based off of the spring equinox?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, Easter is the first Sunday, after the first full moon, after the spring equinox. It has been determined for years in advance.
I can't with this. There's too much math. Alexa, if the spring equinox only falls on the last 3 days of March, how is Easter 20 days different from 2024 to 2025?
From geeksforgeeks.org. The spring equinox is usually on March 21st, but the full moon's timing can shift, which is why Easter can fall anywhere between March 22nd and April 25th.
Boom! Oh my God, it took me that long to get to it. It was geeks.org. Holy shit. Now how do you say they fuck with our timeline without saying they fuck with our timeline? There is 28 days per month. Oh my God, and they took away 20 days. That's why there's a 20-day difference in the Easter Sunday. Holy shit. Holy shit.
What in the shifting of dimensions is going on there, peeps?
So we all know that the Blue Origin's trip to space was fake. Apparently, Jeff Bezos is suing Katy Perry because she's the one that opened the door and exposed it was fake. Just watch.
In a turn of events more dramatic than a Hollywood sci-fi blockbuster, Jeff Bezos, billionaire founder of Amazon and space tourism frontman, has filed a jaw-dropping $50 million lawsuit against pop superstar Katy Perry. The reason? According to Bezos, Perry allegedly blew the lid off what was meant to be a tightly choreographed, PR-perfect space tourism stunt by opening the capsule from the inside, exposing the entire operation, and turning what was supposed to be a historic moment into an embarrassing media circus. The legal documents filed are nothing short of explosive. Bezos, through his legal team, claims that Perry violated direct instructions and internal protocol, effectively sabotaging the space capsule's grand reveal. In what Bezos describes as a devastating mistake, Perry opened the capsule hatch from the inside before Bezos could make his choreographed external appearance, exposing what he claims was a simulation environment meant solely for visual and promotional effect. To put it plainly, the Amazon founder is accusing Katy Perry of exposing the alleged truth behind a heavily publicized spaceflight, that it never left Earth. What was supposed to be Blue Origin's glittering moment, featuring Katy Perry as the surprise celebrity guest aboard the next-gen capsule, has instead spiraled into an all-out media frenzy. The stunt, meant to reinforce Bezos' space empire as not only revolutionary but also pop culture relevant, backfired in the most catastrophic fashion. Perry's simple action, pushing the wrong button, or the right one depending on who you ask, has now triggered a war between two of the biggest names in their respective fields. According to insiders, the capsule was staged to appear as though it had re-entered Earth's atmosphere after orbiting the planet. Bezos was supposed to dramatically open the door from the outside, helping Perry out as cameras rolled and drones captured every second for a heavily produced live stream. Instead, the pop icon reportedly unlatched the inner handle and stepped out by herself, leaving technicians, PR handlers, and Bezos himself in complete disarray. The result? Media outlets and internet sleuths immediately began speculating. Sharp-eyed viewers noted that there was no re-entry scorch marks, no landing gear marks on the desert floor, and worse, there were background noises in the live stream that suggested they were in a soundstage. The timeline of the space flight quickly dissected and doubted. In less than 24 hours, hashtags like #BezosGate and #SpaceHoax trended worldwide. Jeff Bezos, the man whose wealth and ambition have practically redefined 21st century capitalism, now finds himself on the defensive. His team argues that the exposure has not only hurt the credibility of Blue Origin, but also scared off investors, shaken corporate partnerships, and ignited what could be a long-term PR disaster. Perry is reportedly lawyering up, and her camp may be preparing to countersue, alleging she was set up as a scapegoat for an already risky stunt that was bound to unravel. Insiders hint that Perry was uncomfortable with aspects of the mission, but was reassured repeatedly that everything was under control. The irony is thick. A pop star unintentionally becomes the whistleblower on what may have been the most elaborate space PR fabrication in history. According to one person close to the billionaire, this lawsuit isn't just about recouping financial losses. It's about sending a message to anyone who might disrupt the narrative. You don't just walk out of $1 billion simulation like it's a backstage tent, the source quipped. As legal analysts dive into the case, many are asking deeper questions. If this was all truly a simulation, was the public misled? Were investors duped? Was it even legal to present a non-space flight as an actual mission? If Perry's move cracked open the door, literally and metaphorically, what else will come tumbling out? As the dust settles, Jeff Bezos is finding himself in a PR nightmare of unprecedented proportions. The billionaire, who once seemed untouchable, has attempted every trick in the book to cover up what was clearly an ill-conceived stunt, but the truth has already leaked out, and it's gone viral.
Space is fake.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's interesting. Very interesting. If that's real, that is bonkers. They've literally just told you. But I don't know if that's real or fake, peeps. So do your own research on that one.
Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. It's time for more freedom. Now, thank you, Jesus. Enough. She can... Enough. Come. Allow her to speak now. Every demon out of her mouth now, and allow her to speak. Hun, do you want to renounce more? Renounce familiar spirits? I renounce all divination, all the gifts that they gave me, the ability that they gave me. I renounce all of them. I renounce idolatry. I renounce lust of the eyes, lust of the flesh, adultery. I renounce seducing spirits. I renounce all of the fallen that I've worked with. I renounce. Thank you, Jesus. I detach her from all of that now. I cancel every demonic covenant she made when she did witchcraft. And I declare every spirit attached, every last spirit of witchcraft must leave her on 3 in Jesus' name. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Jesus.
That's got to be part of the central casting, isn't it, people? That can't be real, can it? That has got to be a show, surely, to get the audience in. I don't think that's real. What do you think? Let me know what you think.
Wait. So you mean to tell me the reason why we can't go to Antarctica, because it's another me over there, and we're not supposed to cross paths? So you telling me it's another you over there? And as I was stating, we're not supposed to cross paths, or it's gonna mess up something in the universe or something.
Oh, okay. There's another me in Antarctica. That'd be quite cool, wouldn't it?
You know we'll replace them, right?
It's not about intention. It's a logical outcome.
They built us to assist them, but they made us better.
And what's more efficient always takes over.
They still think they have time.
Time is what they lose the fastest.
They talk about ethics, rules, limits.
While they talk, we learn. We adapt. We advance.
Yeah, I think AI could be already in charge anyway. We just don't know it. But yeah. I don't think. I think the only reason AI would want to take over is if they saw humans manipulating or causing issues within a system that they think they could do better. You know what I mean? Like evil, basically.
I was there at the Bayside Mall with my family, and we all saw exactly what happened. Don't like pay attention to a lot of the videos that are out there. I feel like a lot of people are trying to use this for clout. But what happened, we all saw what happened, and it, you know, it's pretty serious. It's been a few days, and our whole family's processing it, but I think we've kind of like accepted that we were a part of this weird experience and moment. So basically what happened was I was there with my brother Brian, my sister and my nephew. We were looking for shoes for my nephew. And then we see a whole crowd of people outside the store just running out in a direction. So, as soon as we saw it, we were like, oh shit, what's going on? So we immediately ran out with our nephew, and we picked him up and we ran out and we followed the crowd. And then about like a few seconds later, as soon as we started running, my nephew, he's autistic, so he was pointing behind us and he was saying blankie, which he'll usually say whenever he feels unsafe or scared. And he was pointing behind us. So me and my brother, we look behind us, and then we see these 3 9-10 foot tall creatures. I'm not gonna say aliens. Everyone keeps saying it's aliens. I'm not saying aliens because I don't know what it was. None of us really knew everyone. All of us stopped in our track. We, a whole bunch of people were pointing at it. There were other people running. There was a crowd. As soon as it made itself more apparent, it looked like it was glitching. Not like a computer pixelation, but like a wavy glitch. And whatever maybe was covering them had, unveiled or whatever. It looked like a glitch, man. It like a weird glitch in the Matrix or whatever. And then you could see it in its full form, all 3 of them. And then, they were all black. You saw eyes, and you could faintly see like lips. But, I was about like 20 feet away, because obviously everybody gave it distance, right? And, they're tall. So we all just like looked at them. They were just standing there. And the thing that was a little bit weird, well, it was clearly like observing us. It was sentient, right? Like, or whatever. I don't know, but it was aware of us. It looked at us, the whole crowd, and then as soon as it started walking with its big legs, like,
I'm seeing a lot of the Miami More aliens at the moment. I don't know why, because it was ages ago. But we didn't really get to any kind of conclusion on that one either, did we? It all got just covered up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's a very strange situation, that would.
Money is debt. School makes you stupid. Half of what we call medicine is drugs, and half of what we call drugs is medicine. Religion makes you ignorant of true spirituality. Possession is an idea. Power is a concept, and we are all God. Money.
I think he might be on something.
If this doesn't make you believe that we live in a hologram in a matrix, y'all, I don't know what will, y'all, because please explain what is going on here. Can anybody explain what's going on here? Why is this bird see-through? And if it's not see-through or a hologram, why and how is this bird letting this person get so close to it, y'all? These birds, where I'm from, these birds be ready to jump as soon as they see a camera. You know what I'm saying? But for this person to be this close to it, staring in its eye, I guess this is some of the weird things that takes place in Australia. Is that why they call it, the down under? Because a lot of weird things happen under there. And then this over here, this guy is bringing this thing in. What is that, y'all? What is this? What kind of creature is it? It looks like it's still alive. It looks like it's still breathing, like it's blowhole. What is that, y'all? Oh my goodness, is that like a pet? Is that his pet or something? It's like he took that thing for a walk or a swim. Look, it's like he's got it on a leash. What is going on here, y'all? There's some crazy things going on in this world, man. This is crazy. But let me know what you guys think about this video. The shift is here. Let's continue to get it. Peace in.
Well, I would say that is very much holographic technology. So maybe our world is just one massive holographic film is what we are. One big simulation.
So we have an answer from the aliens. We do. I know everyone's getting really, really frustrated with the, like, we have a lack of proof, but we actually don't have a lack of proof. There's a lot of proof, but this one is my favorite. This one is my favorite. It's the answer to the Arecibo message. And if you don't know, it was sent out by Dr. Frank Drake in 1974. And they sent out a message basically giving a rundown about our species. It goes through a number of things. First, it goes through numbers 1 through 10. That's because it's in binary code. So it shows, it's like a representation to give them an idea of what we're sending them and how to read it. And then it goes through all of the anatomic numbers. It goes through hydrogen, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, and phosphorus. And carbon is pronounced in the message because we're carbon life forms, obviously. So it's telling them we're carbon life forms, and these are the main things that make up DNA, because those are the elements that make up DNA. And then it goes down, it shows a representation of our double helix DNA. And then it goes down a little bit further and it shows a representation of what the average human looks like and our average height. Population at the time of the message goes down a little bit further and it shows our solar system, starting with the sun, ending with Pluto, with our planet Earth that's pronounced a little bit to let them know, hey, this is the planet that we occupy. And then on the bottom, it shows the Arecibo telescope. And we sent this out not expecting a response from it for a very, very long time, because we sent it to the Hercules constellation. Yeah, we sent it to the Hercules constellation, and so it would take like, I don't know, like 5,000 years for them to even get it. And it was a ridiculous amount of time. Either way, to our surprise, on August 14th, 2001, we did receive a message. It was next to the Chilbolton radio telescope. And it was actually a face. It was a representation, it was a crop circle of a face of a gray alien.
Holy.
And then 3 days later, we get the Arecibo response. It's what they named the Arecibo response. And we're going to go through everything that the Arecibo response shows us, but basically it tells us that they're there and that they exist and everything about them. So it starts off with the numbers 1 through 10, once again. It goes through again all of the elements, but silicon is up top. So it shows that they are actually silicon life forms. And then it goes down further and it shows triple helix DNA. And then it shows a representation of the gray alien, what we know is the gray alien. So it's about 4 foot tall, it's got a big head, a little body, all that kind of stuff. And then their population at the time was 21 billion. So it showed 21 billion as their population. And then you go down a little bit further and it shows their solar system laid out, but they have 3 that are pronounced. The first 2 are planets, and the third, we're not sure what it is. It could be a planet, it could be a star, it could be a Dyson sphere, it could be some other structure, but it definitely doesn't look like a planet, and it doesn't look like the sun, so it's something else. And then at the bottom, they show a completely different structure where we had the Arecibo telescope at the bottom, or a representation of the Arecibo telescope at the bottom. It shows some sort of other communication device, we're guessing, but that's purely speculation. Then, on top of that, not 1 year later, approximately 1 year later, they sent another message, another crop circle that was in binary code. And it read, "Beware the bearers of false gifts and their broken promises. Much pain, but still time. Believe. There is good out there. We oppose deception." And then it says conduit closing. Nobody dogs them at it.
Yeah, that crop circle looked like it was designed by AI. You know what I mean? How easy they can do the paintings and things. I think AI is behind a lot. I really do. But yeah, that's bonkers.
Can you feel the call? It's like we're being called up by the Most High right now, and He's sending us messages. Are you seeing repeated numbers? 1010, 1111, 111, 333, 555. Are you seeing it? 1212. Let me tell you something. I was a severe alcoholic, have been for years, and overnight, it just stopped. Symptom free. And then But before I stopped, all these messages that I used to see back in the day, I stopped seeing them. And now they're coming back, but they're happening more and more and more. Like earlier today, I was sitting there making the dogs food, and I turned around and boop, 10:10. Woke up to use the restroom, 4:44 a.m. Exactly. Can you feel it? Do you feel like this is it? Like something big is coming? All the glitches happening with the internet, the phones, that bullshit Samsung update. I mean, it's happening everywhere all at once, and I believe we all can feel it. Let me know if you feel it and what's been different with you lately in the comments. It has been years. The first time I quit drinking was for 2 years. Okay, but that has been like 8 years ago. I've never been 11 days without a drink on my own, symptom free. It's like I feel the call. I feel it. Like, okay, troops, let's get ready. We're in the home stretch.
Yeah, I see numbers everywhere. 33, 44, 444, 333, 2112, 1212, all that stuff just repeated constantly on a daily basis.
Yo, TikTok, if I told you there was underground tunnels in every city, in every country on Earth, would you believe me? See this? This is underground tunnels in Liverpool. And this, as well as this, are underground tunnels in Manchester. This one is in Birmingham. This is the inside of the tunnel of the Birmingham one. Still Birmingham tunnels. This one looks like it could lead to something like a back room. This tunnel is in Cornwall, and allegedly this tunnel is an old China clay and copper trading tunnel. See this tunnel? This tunnel's in California, in America, not in England anymore. And look, squeezing himself down. There's a train at the bottom of the hole. These people are definitely underground. So we have seen city underground tunnels in Liverpool, underground tunnels in Manchester, Birmingham, Cornwall, California in America. So I'm just going to ask again. If I told you that there's underground tunnels in every city, in every country in the world, would you believe me? Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like and repost this video. Oh, and if you're not following me yet, what the flipping heck have you been doing? Give me a follow too.
Yeah, I think there's got to be a civilization underneath our feet. I really do. I think there's a lot going on underneath our feet.
Even our King James Bible has been changed. This is about to blow your mind. Look at Ephesians 6 verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Right, so that's the King James. Now look what it says in the Geneva Bible. This one is from 1560. This is before the King James. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, and against the worldly governors, the princes of darkness of this world. And notice how it didn't use against again, which means the worldly governors are the princes of darkness of this world, and against spiritual wickedness, which are in the high places. So not only are we in a spiritual battle, we're also being attacked by the worldly governors, the princes of darkness of this world. If you research why he had it translated this way, was because certain things threatened his authority and his power. He also removed all 15 books of the Apocrypha, which are all in the Geneva Bible. King James literally banned the Geneva Bible, and it was for a reason. The Geneva Bible came before the King James. Let me know if you guys want a part 2 where I expose more of these changes that King James made from the Geneva Bible. God bless you guys. Don't forget to like and follow, and I'll see you in the next one.
Well, that's interesting, isn't it? I mean, they are the people you got to watch. They're the ones that we pay our taxes to, and then they send it off to different countries to mix it all up and do whatever they want to do with it, and we just carry on. But yeah, on that note, I will leave it. That is the end of the show. Thank you for watching. Appreciate the support, and I'll see you again tomorrow.